In the world of organized crime, betrayal is considered the ultimate sin. To betray the Mafia is to betray blood, family, and honor. And for those who do, the price is often paid in blood. This is the tragic story of Miriam Illardo, a young woman who dared to defy her lover, a man tied to the Sicilian Mafia. Her decision to walk away and to speak out set in motion a brutal chain of revenge that shocked Italy and still echoes today.
In the heart of Sicily, where the sea meets ancient stone streets, life carries the weight of centuries of tradition and secrets. This is the land of family, honor, and shadows. It's where every smile can hide an allegiance, and every silence can carry a warning. In the early 1980s, a girl was born into this world. Her name was Miriam Illardo. Friends would later remember her as kind, independent, and full of life. She grew up chasing sunlit afternoons, laughing with cousins in the piazza, and dreaming of a future far away from the limits of her small town. Miriam was smart, ambitious, and restless. While many around her accepted the quiet rules of Sicilian life, who you spoke to, where you went, what questions you never asked, Miriam wanted something more. She wanted love, adventure, and a life bigger than the tight streets of her childhood. And then, in her early 20s, she met him, a man who seemed to have it all: power, charm, and an unshakable confidence. To Miriam, he was different from the boys she had grown up with. He opened doors, whispered promises, and wrapped her world in attention she had never known before. At first, her friend said she was lucky. He was protective, generous, the kind of man who seemed to always be in control. But control in Sicily is rarely innocent. Behind the charm was a dangerous truth. He was deeply connected to the local mafia, the same men Miriam's family had whispered about for generations, the same men whose power kept entire neighborhoods quiet after sunset. Miriam thought she was in love, but as the weeks turned to months, she began to notice things. His friends were not friends, they were soldiers. His business meetings were not about business. They were about money, loyalty, and fear. And soon, she realized she was in far deeper than she had ever imagined. At first, the relationship seemed like a dream. Expensive gifts, nights out under Sicilian skies, a sense of security that every young woman longs for. Miriam believed she had found not only love, but protection in a world where power often meant survival. But dreams can turn to prisons. Over time, Miriam began to see a different side of the man she thought she loved: jealousy, control, violence. She was no longer a girlfriend. She was a possession. Her phone calls were monitored, her outings questioned. Friends noticed the brightness in her smile begin to fade, replaced by caution in her eyes. In the world of the Sicilian Mafia, women are expected to obey an unspoken code: loyalty, silence, submission. To betray that code meant danger, not just for her, but for her family. Most would have bowed their heads, swallowed the fear, and kept quiet. In a bold move, Miriam broke off the relationship. For most women, leaving a man is painful. But for Miriam, leaving this man was an act of war. Because she didn't just walk away. She began cooperating with law enforcement, quietly providing details about her ex-partner's activities and his mafia connections. To speak to the police in Sicily is to cross a sacred line. For her ex, this was unforgivable. In mafia culture, betrayal has only one consequence: death. The Watchers. Word spread quickly through the criminal network. Miriam Illardo, once the girlfriend of a powerful man, was now an informant. The walls began to close in. She noticed cars idling outside her apartment, men she didn't recognize watching her at the market. Friends warned her to leave town, but Miriam refused. She believed the truth mattered more than her fear. The night of the murder, it was a warm night in late summer when it happened. Miriam left work later than usual, the streets quieter than normal. As she walked toward her car, two men stepped from the shadows. Neighbors would later say they heard nothing but footsteps, then a single scream. Miriam Illardo was brutally murdered, a killing carried out not in passion, but in cold, calculated revenge. Her body was found hours later, a warning to anyone who might consider betraying the code of silence. The message: this was more than the death of a young woman. It was a message written in blood across the streets of Sicily. The Mafia forgives nothing, and those who defy them pay the ultimate price. The police investigation revealed the cruelty of the crime in chilling detail. Testimony, evidence, and whispers from the underworld painted a clear picture. Miriam Illardo had been betrayed, hunted, and executed in the name of revenge. Her ex-lover, the man she once trusted, the man she dared to defy, was arrested and eventually convicted. But justice, though served, could never erase the harm. No sentence could undo the suffering or bring Miriam back to the life she had dreamed of. Miriam's story became more than a headline. It became a symbol of the Mafia's grip over Sicily and the terrible price women pay for defiance. Her courage, her refusal to stay silent, continues to echo as a warning and as an inspiration. In the end, Miriam Illardo's voice could not be silenced. Though her life was stolen, her story endures. A reminder that even in the darkest places, the fight for freedom and justice lives on. Please subscribe, like, or comment if you think Miriam Illardo deserved justice.